The news of a divorce always hurts, but for some people it acts as a trigger for impulsive actions. As soon as he found out that his wife wanted to close the marriage, he decided to act in a petty way. He took the family's car to his mother's own house, as if that were a victory. Walk on the courts, laughs his mother-in-law on the phone, without imagining that his joy would be short-lived. Just imagine, listeners, 10 years of marriage reduced to a scene of cynicism and revenge. Anna watched out the window as Jorge took her clothes from the closet and threw them in a large suitcase, the same one they had bought together for a trip that would never happen. I already decided everything, he announced, closing his suitcase with a dry gesture. Tomorrow I will file the divorce. Anna, with a trembling voice, tried one last dialogue. Jorge, can't we at least talk? 10 years together, and now everything crumbled like this. He laughed with bitterness. Talking about what? How did you betray your co-worker? The accusation was absurd. The distrust of Denny's, his project partner, had started months before, after a few nights working late. Jorge, obsessed with the idea of betrayal, ignored the truth. Among them, there was only professionalism. I never cheated on you, Jorge. Never, she said firmly. Of course not, he mocked. And should I believe you? With a last look of contempt, he took the suitcase and left, taking with him not only his things, but also the car key they had bought together. And my part of the car? Asked Anna, desperate. I need him to work. Jorge turned with a cruel smile. Why? Ask your Denny's. She recalled that half of the value had come out of her pocket, but he just shrugged. Proof. The document is in my name. Let's resolve this in court. The next morning the car was gone. Connections to Jorge fell straight into the mailbox. Anna had to take the subway, reaching a crucial meeting. At night, while organizing the documents for the process, the phone rang. It was Sinead, her mother-in-law, with a fake voice. Anna, honey, how are you? Anna knew that tone hid pure sarcasm. Okay, thank you. Why? Oh, I just wanted to warn you that the car is here. Jorge brought. After all, you went with the divorce, so now it's time to share the goods. This is not true. It was he who got into the process, and half of that car is mine. He countered Anna. Zenaida laughed loudly. Who will believe you? The papers are all in his name. Walk, this hunter of others. Anna swallowed the cry. I wanted to shout that it was all lies, but only answered, in a controlled voice, see you so much, Zenaida. Then he spent hours on the phone with lawyers. Fortunately, her friend Marina, who worked in a family law specialist, indicated a competent professional. How much did you invest in the car? Asked the lawyer, Sergio, analyzing the documents. I have the transfer vouchers and even messages of ours combining the purchase. Eve nodded, pleased. And do you have witnesses? Anyone who can confirm that it was a joint purchase? My parents. They were present when we bought it, and Jorge said it was half of mine. Perfect. But get ready. It may take time. On the day of the first hearing, Anna arrived by taxi and saw the car parked near the forum. Jorge and Zenaida talked excitedly next door. Passing the mother-in-law, the voice, purposely raised the voice. Look who arrived. Jorge, our expert in stealing husbands. Didn't you get tired of walking? Anna ignored, accelerating the step. Within the court, her lawyer reassured her, don't pay attention to provocations. Our arguments are solid. After the session, Zenaida approached her, blocking her way. Did you get tired of a walk? My daughter, why don't you come back to Jorge while he's still good? I got in, but the mother-in-law insisted. Do you think we don't know about your case with that Denny's? Jorge has proof of you in hotels. Sergio intervened, pushing her away with elegance. Be careful. This can be interpreted as pressure on my client. On the way home, Anna told the lawyer about the ridiculous accusations. I've never been in a hotel with Denny's. He suspected a bluff, but promised to prepare for any surprise. Upon arriving, he decided to check Denny's social networks and found a picture that left her paralyzed. He hugged a woman at the entrance of a luxurious hotel, a woman who, by far, looked very much to her. The same outfit, the same haircut. Anna widened the image, and then understood everything. Anna acknowledged Marina in the photo, her friend lawyer, with whom he actually had an impressive resemblance. The date of publication confirmed everything. 3 months ago, just when Georgie's suspicions had reached the peak. It was that. A mixture of relief and indignation took over her. Georgie must have seen that image and, without blinking, concluded that it was her. At the next hearing, the theme was the division of goods, including the car. Georgie's lawyer, an arrogant young man with a smile of superiority, stated with conviction, my client acquired the vehicle exclusively with his own resources. My client, Mrs. Ignatieva, did not contribute to a single penny. Sergei Mikhailovich, however, did not shake himself. Surgically, He presented bank statements and prints of a conversation. The judge examined the documents carefully. Could your client explain why Mrs. Ignatieva transferred this amount to him exactly before buying the car? He asked, fixing the lawyer with a penetrating look. The young man stammered. It was a debt. She had borrowed money before and was returning. Curious, said Sergey, sliding his finger on the phone screen, because in the payment description it is written, with all the letters, my part in the purchase of the car 50% of the total amount. Georgie's face sprang. He clearly did not expect Anna to keep all those evidence. And it didn't stop there. Besides, Sergey continued, we have testimonials from Mrs. Ignatieva's parents, willing to confirm that Mr. Ignatiev, in his presence, repeatedly mentioned the joint purchase of the vehicle. The judge nodded and announced a recess to analyze the documents. During the break, Zinaida Arkadievna tried to approach Anna, but Sergey intercepted her way with a discreet but firm gesture. It's not worth it, he murmured to his mother-in-law. You will only make your child's situation worse. When the session resumed, the decision was relentless. Until the final verdict, the car should be delivered to a company specialized in goods custody. What do you mean? Will you take the machine? Zinaida raised, rising from the chair. I ask you to keep the composure. The judge cut off. The vehicle will be in a secure parking lot to the sentence. Storage expenses will be divided equally between the parties. In the corridor, Georgie reached Anna. Why are you doing this? He asked, his voice low, almost a whisper. You know very well that I saw you with him. Who? Georgie, she answered, tired. With your Denny's, near Metropole. Do you think I don't know what you did there? Anna shook her head. I've never been with Denny's at Metropole. You saw Marina, my friend? We're very similar. She and Denny's have been dating for 6 months. Georgie seemed disoriented. Don't make excuses. I can prove, said Anna, serena. And you know what irony is? I met Marina because of Denny's when I needed legal help. It was she who indicated me Sergei Mikhailovich. Georgie's silence was eloquent. He processed each word, as if he tried to set up a puzzle whose pieces had never fitted. You didn't even try to talk to me, continued Anna. It simply decided that I betrayed you. 10 years of marriage, and you didn't have the courage to ask me a direct question. Georgie swallowed hard. I was right, so right that I stole our car and gave it to my mother, just to humiliate me. No, Georgie, corrected Anna, shaking her head. You showed me who you really are. She turned and walked away, leaving him standing there, petrified, like a statue of salt. 2 weeks later, at the next hearing, Georgie appeared alone without her mother, without a lawyer. When the judge asked if he had objections to Anna's requests, the answer was a surprise. Very merit. I will not contest the author's claims. I confirm that the car was bought with ordinary resources, and I agree to pay my ex-wife its fair part. Anna looked at him astonishment, but he avoided his eyes. After the session, when she and Sergey were already preparing to leave, Georgie approached. Can I talk to you a minute? He asked, hesitant. Sergey looked at Anna, who nodded. I wanted to apologize, Georgie began as soon as they walked away. I checked what you said about Denny's and Marina. It's true, confirmed Anna, bluntly. I behaved like an idiot, he admitted, the broken voice. I think we can still try to fix things. Anna studied him for a long moment. That man before her had already been the love of his life, the partner with whom he had dreamed of aging. But now it was just a stranger, someone who, without hesitation, believed in her worst version, who tried to destroy her and steal her, who allowed her own mother to treat her like a criminal. No, Georgie, you can't, he replied firmly. What you did, don't fix yourself with excuses. But I admit it was wrong, he said, a tip of frustration in his voice. It's not just about the accusations. It's about how you act you love when you think you were betrayed. You didn't try to understand. You didn't give me a chance to explain. Instead, you chose to punish me, humiliate me. This is not love. That's cruelty. He lowered his head, defeated. And all these years together? Thanks for the good times, said Anna, soft but uncompromising. But we can't be together anymore. I think deep down you know that too. A month later, the divorce was finalized. The sentence was clear. The car should be sold, and the value divided equally. Georgie didn't even found a buyer willing to pay a good price. The day Anna received her part, the phone rang. It was Zinaida Arkadievna. Did you get what you wanted? Patted the mother-in-law, acidic. Are you satisfied? I don't want to perpetuate this fight. Zinaida Arkadievna, said Anna. Calm down. Georgie and I follow separate ways, and I only wish the best for him. How do you dare? Exploded the woman. You have destroyed my son's life. He is no longer the same. Your son is an adult, responsible for his choices, said Anna, without hesitation, and I think you should stop interfering with his life. That is not good for anyone or you. Zinaida Arkadievna poured out indignant, but Anna had already turned off. 6 months later, in the corridor of a supermarket, Anna bumped into Georgie. He was thin, with deep dark circles and an air of those who lost something more than a relationship. Hi, he fulfilled, forcing a smile. How are you? Well, thank you, answered Anna. And you? More or less, he shrugged. Working, living. My mother has been sick. I am very sorry, said Anna, sincere. I hope it gets better. Georgie hesitated, as if they struggled against the words. You know, in these months, I understood a lot. About me, about us, about my mother. I regret how it all ended. I regret, too, admitted Anna, soft. But sometimes even the most painful experiences make us grow up. They stayed there for a few more moments, exchanging superficial news, until each one went their way. 2 years later, Anna learned of acquaintances in common, and Georgie had moved to another city, got a good job, and known a woman, with whom he finally found the happiness he had sought so much. Meanwhile, Zinaida Arkadievna, her mother, remained alone in the apartment that once echoed with laughter and family discussions. Now her days boiled down to endless links to relatives and acquaintances, repeating the same lament, the ungrateful son who had abandoned her Annie, as she insisted on calling Georgie's new companion. The words, previously loaded with authority, now sounded like the echo of the loneliness she had cultivated herself. Anne, in turn, had rebuilt her life with firm hands and a wiser heart. He married a man who looked at her with admiration in his eyes and never allowed his own mother to cross the limits of respect. Together they welcomed a son, a boy with easy smiles who filled the spaces that were once occupied by silences and suspicions. Sometimes, as he tacked the little one in his arms, Anna reflected on the first marriage and how the fear of being betrayed the blind man for what really mattered. Trust is not a privilege. It is a choice that is renewed every day. If they had talked more and accused less, perhaps the story was different. And then, inevitably, his thoughts returned to Zinaida Arkadievna, the woman who, in the eagerness to hold her son with inauguration clause, eventually chased him forever. He remembered the triumphant laugh on the phone, that to walk to the courts. Phrase that, at the time, hurt like a knife, but that time turned into a lesson, because life, ironic and just, had given each one what it deserved. Did Zinaida Arkadievna laugh last? No, his laugh lasted only until the day he realized that the walls of the apartment echoed only his own voice. The court to which she had condemned Anna turned out to be loneliness, a verdict without appeal.